How you doing?
Welcome to the MustacheAndTheBeard.com, Two Grey Geeks.
Changing the world one post at a time.
Okay, my name is Louis Matos. I am the Mustache. And I'm here with my buddy.
I'm Junior Figueroa, a.k.a. The Beard, coming to you live from not-so-sunny Puerto Rico. We had another rainstorm today. Luckily, it's not raining now.
Yeah, and today we're going to do our Ask Two Grey Geeks, number 5.
Number 5.
All right, and you want to tell them what Ask Two Grey Geeks is?
Well, we asked you. We told our fans, our followers, that if you have any questions to ask us, to send them to us. You could Gmail us or whatever forum that we appear in. You could ask us a question. And to be honest with you, when we said this, we thought it was going to be more fact-driven questions. Like, for example, Batman's first appearance happened in what number of Detective Comics, that sort of thing. And we told you that if we didn't know the answer off the top of our head, we'd do the research and we'd come back to you with what we came up with. You did inundate us with questions, but it wasn't that type of questions. It was actually more thought-provoking questions,
thought-based.
Like, for example, our very first post Ask Two Grey Geeks was, you asked us to come up with a Star Trek dream team, taking one person from each of the 10 Star Trek series. That took some thinking. That took and remember that you're asking for 2 dream teams.
Yeah, so it was a 20-minute video, which we wanted to keep these short.
But it took us hours to work on.
Yeah, absolutely.
to work on that.
All right, so I have a question for us, and it is, I don't remember who did this. I think this might have been another Lady Geek question, one of the first ones asked.
Was that the one about the
classics?
Yeah, it is Lady Geek.
All right. And the question is, you often refer to films as classics, but what does that really mean? The original Dracula is a classic, but so is The Breakfast Club. Is there a specific era that the term classic really belongs to? And what do you think?
Well, first off, I don't think The Breakfast Club was a classic.
No, I know. We would say Breakfast Club is not a classic in our book.
No, not a classic in our book.
So, do you want to start this off, or should I?
Okay, well, let me just say, while there is a certain the word classic brings to mind a certain longevity, a certain
time component.
There is a time component to it, but I do not think that a classic is solely time driven. Not what I'm trying to say is that not every movie, because it's old,
is it great?
Is a classic. It's a classic. Okay, so that's right off the bat. While age is a factor, it is not the determining factor. That first off. Second is quality. Okay? Again, while the term classic brings to mind a certain class, a certain quality of product, right, does not necessarily have to be so. Because there are some, what we would call low budget or B movies or that have stood the test of time and are considered classics, although they were not of highest quality at the time.
Okay.
For example, although I would not say this movie is yet a classic, right? I think Evil Dead is going to be a classic someday.
And it is a low budget movie, too.
It's a low budget movie, but I think it is going to be a classic in time. In time, it's going to be a classic.
Okay, so now I would say that you have what I called two criteria.
Two criteria.
Yes. So, and what I did was I said, we've talked about this classic in October of last year when I had my top 10 classic horror movies.
That's right. You did.
All right. And so, one of the things that we said was a time component, and we determined that to be 50 years. Right?
Right.
So I would say that if you want a definition of classic for us, because I don't want to,
right.
speak for the entire world.
Right. We're not taking this away from anybody else. Anyone else wishes to define classic, they can in their own manner.
Yes, but for the mustache and the beard, a classic is 50 any movie that is 1970s or earlier. All right. So 50 years, and 2021, it'll be 1971 and earlier.
Right.
All right. So so it's going to move, but
we're saying 50 years.
Yes.
Moving scale.
Yes. So A, time component, and B is I have here exceptionalism. The movie has to be exceptional in some way.
In some way.
All right?
In some way.
And this is, again, defining it for the mustache and the beard. Exceptionalism. It's what the beard has already delineated as two criteria for a classic movie.
And I think I would like to add a third.
Okay.
Okay?
That would be great.
Simply being that I think in order to be a classic, you have to start at something that there was more, there came more after. That you were so good.
That people copied you.
Or emulated you. In other words, for example, Dracula.
1931.
Bela Lugosi, right? Started...
Vampire movies.
Yeah, not only Dracula movies, right? We're still getting Dracula movies, but vampire movies. It created a subgenre, if you want to call it that, right? I think classics do that,
and I think for horror, it's absolutely a good way to characterize it. So, time component, exceptionalism, and a paradigm.
A paradigm, yes. Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
So we have those three components. Nosferatu. It was on my list of classic movies, and it was before Dracula, but
it was a silent movie.
It was a silent movie, so but I would still characterize it as
a
classic.
I would, except that the industry made a change. So it was almost
a paradigm shift.
A paradigm shift. It reinvented itself.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to take that into account. Hey, get it? Count? Dracula count?
And that's why they say when we smoke,
What are in those?
What are we smoking?
What are we smoking in those cigars?
all right. So yes, so yeah, we will. And one of the things that we were talking about is, I think that now is a good time to break the news to everyone. We were talking in the car about the fact that we would like to have a library, because people ask us all the time for recommendations, and a lot of our followers are not as old as us.
They ask us for a lot of recommendations, which is one of the reasons why we started doing Get Out of Jail Free, because it was impossible to keep up with all the things that we would recommend.
Yes.
But Get Out of Jail Free tends to be modern stuff.
Yes.
It's stuff that we just finished reading. It's just finished watching.
Okay, you're whispering. So
it's that, the damn rooster. So this, what we're talking about now,
are older movies.
are older stuff. You're right. Most of the people that, most of our followers, most of our listeners, are younger than us,
and are not necessarily cinephiles, which will, all of a sudden they see a black and white movie and they're like, oh, nah.
And try to get them to watch a silent movie. Try to get them to watch a silent movie.
They'll watch it while they're messing around on their phones, and you can't do that with a silent movie.
Or try to get somebody nowadays to watch a movie with subtitles.
Yeah,
and a silent movie is all subtitles because you're reading the movie.
Yep. So we're going to talk about a little bit about what we're going to do to have a classics library. Okay, so I know we've discussed this on our 250th post, which is
coming up
in November sometime.
Right.
We want to open the Mustache and the Beard Classics Cinematic Library. I don't know if we're going to call it that, but
no, I was trying to see what the letters spell.
Oh,
because how we do SCAR.
CCL.
CCL.
Yeah. So for that 250th post, we are going to recommend. I'm going to recommend 5 classic movies, and you're going to recommend 5 classic movies
based on the criteria we just discussed.
Yes, the 3 aspects of the criteria, and then we are going to induct them. We're not asking for a vote. We're going to share them with you as we always do in a video. Mm-hmm. But we'll have watched both movies, both lists.
Right. If anything that we put in this library is coming from the both of us.
Yes.
If the 5 that he picks, if any one of the 5 that he picks, I have not seen, it falls upon me to see them in order to
put your stamp of approval.
And the same thing with my 5.
Yes.
Also, if we duplicate, we now have to find something else because we want it to be 10.
Yes.
So if we both say Dracula 1931, which I think it could very easily happen.
Oh, absolutely.
Then
or Captain Blood, like you just mentioned. That is a damn good movie.
Yes, Captain Blood. Errol Flynn, very young Errol Flynn, very young Olivia de Havilland, very young Basil Rathbone. Great movie. It's black and white.
Although some versions have been colorized.
I've seen some good colorized versions. I've seen some bad. Mm-hmm. So, but yes. If we both put up the same one, then one of us will keep it, and the other one has to find something else.
Okay.
So it's definitely going to be 10.
A list of 10 that we are going to include in our library, and hopefully we'll be able to talk you into watching it.
We're also going to, I can't promise this, but we're going to do our absolute best to tell you where you can find it. And if we can, give you a link.
Yes.
Okay, but I can't promise you for each.
Yeah, because it might be available on Amazon this month, and then next month it's not available on Amazon anymore.
Or maybe it may be so old that we're not sure where you can get it. If they got it on Netflix, we'll tell you it's on Netflix. If they got it on Amazon, we'll tell you it's on Amazon. If they got it on YouTube, we'll give you the link.
Yeah, we'll add that to
We're going to try. We're going to try our darnest.
Yes, because we are going to suggest these movies in the hopes that you can expand your horizon.
Yes. And I'm throwing this out there. If there's movies that you want us to consider adding to our classics library, let us know.
That would be great.
We'll watch it.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll track down the movie and we'll watch it.
Yeah.
When you did your horror classics list, right? Mm-hmm. You didn't put down
The Birds.
The Birds, not because you didn't think it was classic, but because you already had Psycho from
Correct. It was my number one pick.
And you didn't want to fill up the whole list with Alfred Hitchcock.
No.
So he eliminated all the rest of the Alfred Hitchcock movies. Our good friend Alfredo, God bless him, right away told him, What happened to The Birds? So we did a special review, right?
An autopsy. I think it was number 6.
Yeah, we did an autopsy video just on The Birds because of what he said. So yes,
and both of us gave it 5 Grey Geeks. So it was a perfect movie for both of us.
Oh my God, and we loved watching it. Yeah. We watched it together. Now, we had seen this movie.
Of course. A dozen times.
But we watched it again just to be fresh in our approach in reviewing it.
Uh-huh.
And had a ball. So, if there's something that you want us to consider, including in our classics library, we'll watch it. We'll watch it and make a decision.
And what we've also determined is that according to months, that we are like our high June, we will in high June include westerns.
Right.
All right. So
right.
Yeah. So as we go through the months, we're going to be including that category of movies.
August Murders. We're doing it again come August. Mm-hmm. We're going to include mysteries.
And yes, so our library is going to have subcategories, just like every library does.
Right.
The mystery section.
The western section.
Mm-hmm.
The sci-fi section.
The horror section.
Horror section. The fantasy section. Musicals.
You keep saying musicals. I'm like, there aren't a lot of them.
Actually, there's one that I want us to. We got to get through Oktoberfest, but I wanted to watch Moulin Rouge.
All right, so so this is what's coming up. We wanted to answer the question. I feel like we've done that.
Yes. Well, let's go over the criteria.
Okay.
One is it's got to be time. It's got to be 50 years. So the cutoff is 1970. The second criteria? Exceptionalism. Now, it doesn't mean, exceptionalism does not mean big budget. Okay? Exceptionalism does not mean name director. Doesn't even mean studio. It means that it brought to the screen something special, and you know because they're still talking about it.
Yeah, and there are a lot, so it'll be something that a lot of people like. Not everybody loves Nosferatu.
No,
but there was something exceptional about it.
And the third is that it started something, a paradigm.
Right.
It began something.
Let me write that down. So it was a paradigm shift.
I'll give you an example in something modern, right, in terms of paradigm. The Fast and the Furious. I'm not saying that The Fast and the Furious is a classic movie, but it's a paradigm. It started something.
Alrighty. So
I hope we answered the question.
I think we answered the question very well. I think we almost stamped it to death. So now you know what for us is a classic, what determines a classic, and the Breakfast Club is not one.
Sorry.
Sorry. But, I think we've done everything that we needed to do. And with that having been said,
here we go.
My name is Louis Matos. I am the Mustache.
I'm Junior Figueroa. I beat the beard.
If you've stumbled upon us and you liked what you've seen, please press a like, subscribe. Below this video, push the subscribe button, and we'd really appreciate it. And any comments that you might want to say, no, that's not what a classic is. That's okay.
Yeah, you can disagree with us. It's okay. We'll just come to your house and rip up your comments.
All right. So we say see you later. Thanks for watching.
Hasta la vista.
Take it easy.
And peace.